Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paradise, and I like to entertain. Welcome to Arc Raiders patch number 1, essentially. This is our December update, 1.7. This is actually just released about 4 a.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, and you guys can fill it in between. But the biggest thing that we're focusing on right now is that winter has officially hit the Rust Belt. I don't know if you guys have seen the short that they released, but the guitar and then the Rocketeer coming in and just absolutely taking it out was incredible. So I just wanted to go over a couple of the things that are being updated. They did some buffs. We got some nerfs. We got some new things being implemented. And there's actually some really cool, exciting things for the people that aren't doing the expedition that still want to maintain and still want to build up their character because they're not quite ready to get rid of everything yet. They haven't had the opportunity to grind. Apparently there was someone who is already over like 5,000 knockouts or something like that. I mean, listen, I touch too much grass. So basically what's new, we got the cold snap map. That's the new condition. I'm yet to check if that's on all maps or if it's on like an event or whether it is going to be kind of like every single map has the option. And now like if there's an event, then you have like regular winter and then you have the event, but we'll check into that. Flickering Flames, I haven't done a whole lot of research into what that is, but we did get the Happy Gilmore hockey stick goalie Raider tool, which is going to be sick. And then, of course, we got new quests and new quest items. So basically, the patch highlights, they added new skill tree reset functionality. What that means is that if you have 75 skill points at this very moment and you don't want to do the expedition, you can just hit reset. And it'll put 75 skill tokens within your bank, and you can go back through and you can redo your entire skill tree. So you know what? I didn't like the security breach, which is what everybody did. I want to go more mobility, or I want to spread it out. And then if you do the expedition, you get those 5 extra points. Say you don't reset next time. You got those 5 extra points plus the 75. If you hit level 75, this one, you could start off with 80 skill points just right off the bat. And so then your character is OP. So we'll see how that works as far as like the matchmaking and stuff goes, which is going to be very, very interesting. They also added toggle down sight. So if you don't like holding the mouse button or the left trigger on whatever game console you're playing on, you can now toggle that. Wallet now shows your credit soft cap. I'm assuming that means whatever you could actually earn throughout the season. Various festive items, which is cool. I love it when games do that. They moved the Aphelion blueprint down from the Matriarch to Stella. So that's kind of freaking cool because, I mean, think about how many times we've been third-partied by trying to do the Matriarch, whether it's on solos, duos, trios, because of that damn blueprint. Now, we did get the blueprint out, if you missed it a couple days ago over the weekend, and that was amazing. That was so much fun. I definitely thought I was going to die, but Michael Shade was an incredible teammate and had my back. They've also added Raider tool customization. I am so excited to see what they do with this because I'm a golfer. I want a golf club of some sort. I do love the hockey stick though because it is like 365 days until next year's hockey tryouts. Improved Stella Montes spawn distance checks to address the issue where players are spawning too close to each other. Dear Lord, baby Jesus, sitting there in your manger, 8 pounds 6 ounces, don't even know a word yet. Thank you. Thank you, Embark. Because, man, the amount of times that we just got spawn camped and died immediately and, like, I mean, you'd go, and it would literally be, you go out of your spawn and you boop, you hit the next freaking players. And it's like, dude, what if, we got spawn camped a couple days ago, and they literally ran from spawn to spawn, and it was in the middle of a match. It was like 22 minutes left in the match, and we heard them spawn in, and they immediately ran over, which... if you can get to another spawn within like 5 seconds, that's too close. All right, so weapon changes, weapon balances. The Batina is now getting a little bit of a buff. So they have decreased the burn rate. So you're now going to get about 26 shots, about 26 full mags out of the Batina before it goes from 100 to 0 in durability, which is over double what it was before. It was about 12. And now it's going to be a little bit more competitive within PvP because the Patina was more used for really taking down Arc. It would be good against players, but it just didn't have the pizzazz that it needed it to. And they took the base reload time from 5 seconds to 4.5, which is huge. And they increased the base magazine level from 20 to 22. You throw one of the extended mags in there, and you're going to be freaking cooking. Now, the Rattler. Everybody kind of doesn't really like the Rattler or the Hairpin, right? So Hairpin is obviously, it's like the MK2 in DayZ, right? It's just like a 22. It's not going to do anything. It just is that's all it does. That's it. The Rattler has been increased from 10 to 12 on the base magazine size, and it got a minor buff for PvP TTK, right? So they wanted it to be able to compete a little bit better with the Stitcher, the Kettle at close quarters, but it's still going to be used for that medium to semi-long. But they said that, if you want to have more accurate shots, fire and burst, which is something that they taught us in the military. Just fire and burst, The Shredder, everybody's favorite arc. I'm going to read this word for word because I was actually pretty stunned to find this out. Okay. They reduced the amount of knockback applied by weapons. Not good. Increased movement speed and turning responsiveness. As if this thing needed to be better. Increased health of the Shredder's head to prevent cases where the head could be shot off, leading to unintended behavior. Okay, I never really headshot it. I always went for the thrusters at the bottom. Improve Shredder navigation to reduce getting stuck on corners, narrow spaces, and short obstacles. I can get that. Increase the speed at which the Shredder enters combat when taking damage, and when it in close proximity to players. So now it's faster. It's literally going to be Jaws just going through. But it's the whole time it's going to be okay. Increase the number of parts on the Shredder that can be individually destroyed. That's cool. So you're being rewarded, which that's huge. If you're going to increase the difficulty, please increase the reward at the same time. A lot of games don't do that, but thank you, Embark, for doing that. So that means that basically it's going to drop more stuff. You'll be able to recycle it. You'll be able to get more parts. Now, the other big thing, okay, the bug fixes are huge. We'll get to those here in a second, but the achievements are now enabled within the Epic Store, which is sick. You can all look at that. The animations, they fixed an issue where you could pick up a field crate with a trigger grenade attached, and it could cause you to slide. And that was kind of a weird thing. I saw a couple clips of that, and it like broke the game. They fixed an issue where combining snap hook with zip lines on ladders could store momentum and propel the players long distances. Shade was actually telling us about this yesterday, where you could basically zip line onto your teammate, and your teammate could get down, go across the map. Or excuse me, you would snap hook into your teammate, and you would be shot across the map, and then you could pull your teammate to you, which was absolutely insane. So essentially what people were doing was they were snap hooking onto each other while the teammate was on a ladder, but they were making sure that the ladder was facing towards the extract, and they were getting a 10-second extract. They were able to shoot themselves all the way across. So glad that that's fixed. And they added some more animations to make the character skins and equipment feel more natural. I know that there was an over-encumbered issue where you would be walking, you'd have too much on you, and your character would kind of do like some really weird movements, like kind of look like Hunchback of Notre Dame. Dom, tell me in the comments what you think about that. Now you know how I feel. All right, now the Arc. They fixed an issue where the deployables, when they're attached to the enemies, could cause them to launch or clip out of bounds when shot. So that happened to us very early on with the roly-poly, the big guy. And the Sentinels have been fixed because the lasers, if you've ever been in the tunnel in Bluegate and you've literally been enemy spotted from like 19,000 yards away at the end of the tunnel by the Sentinel, now it's not going to be able to go that far, which is amazing. They have disabled vaulting onto the surveyors because it was launching people. So if you've ever had the pops come and like launch over like some concrete that is in between like two walls that are down, it would launch up. that's what people were doing with themselves on the Surveyor. So glad that that's fixed. Fixed audio, so they took care of some audio stuff. Increased the number of simultaneous footstep sounds and increased their priority. That's less than 2 months. That's less than 2 months after the game is released. I'm not looking at any other game. Remove the unsettling mom from Speranza. Okay, I wasn't crazy. I heard little kids like saying stuff, and I thought that I was losing my freaking brain. I'm so glad that they fixed that because that was extremely creepy. Maps fix an issue where the spawning logic could cause players who were reconnecting at the start of a session to spawn next to players who had just joined. Saw that happen. That actually happened to us. That was really weird because I had no idea what was going on and we immediately died. Fixed raider caches not spawning during prospecting probes. That's huge. So now we're going to get more loot out of the caches. The electromagnetic storm, the strikes would sometimes leave behind a valuable item. Hopefully that's something they added. Oh, that's huge. Oh my God. That is huge. Now that alone is going to make so many people go into electromagnetic storms now. That's absolutely amazing. Security lockers can now dynamically spawn across the map instead of being placed. I love that. I love the freaking RNG. That's amazing. Increase the number of possible Great Mullen spots. Let's go. Move the matriarch spawn point and dam to an area that better plays to her strengths. I mean, I would assume that means that she's going in the middle, right? Where the queen is. I mean, there's no way they put her in. I don't know. That's going to be crazy. Spaceport adjusted the locked room protection area and the container storage or spaceport to not affect players outside the room. That's good. Blue Gate, locked gate map conditions have been added. Nice. Adjusted map bounds near the ledge near Blue Gate. Oh, we fell off of that. Improve the trees in Blue Gate to reduce overly dark visuals at distance. Thank you. That's the toughest thing about this game is like when you're looking into a house and you can't see anything, but maybe they have like a light on their collar. Like, man, I love it. It's crazy though. All right. Some breachable containers in Stella Montes no longer drop rubber ducks when using a little extra skill. Sorry, I love that because, you know, I've got a rubber duck. And then they adjusted the window glass clarity on Stella to improve visibility. And then we've got some basic bug crashes, added Raider tool customization. That's cool. Definitely hope to see a golf club in the future because technically, like, I don't know if this generation would even know about any of the above ground sports. You know, it would all just be like legends. So like the hockey stick is going to be interesting to see if they actually, you know, people understand that this is a hockey stick. I don't know. It's going to be Tales of the Deep. Fix some movement. Acceleration has been increased or reduced when doing a dodge roll from a slide. I don't like that because the movement is the best part about this game. If they nerf the movement, it's going to be not going to be good. UI, add a new cinematic graphics setting to enhance visuals for high NPCs. Let's go. Codex improved accuracy of tracking. Damage dealt in player stats. Hell yeah. I know Shade's going to appreciate that because he's a little demon. Added a codex section to rewatch previously seen videos. Good. I like that because I do like to go back and kind of like freshen up on the loot in a round. Further reduce the frequency of the end of the round feedback survey pop-up. I mean, I appreciate the fact that they care. Added an optional round feedback. Cool. Expedition project. Added a show or hide tooltip hint to the Raider project screens. Okay, so that means, to me, that means that you're not going to be able to track everything that's needed within the expedition, which is sick. Inventory. Fixed an issue where closing the right-click menu in the inventory could reset focus to a different slot using the gamepad. Okay, so that's console. Fixed flickering in the inventory tooltip. That's good because we had that as well. And basically various other bug fixes that they went through. But I think that, you know, overall, you're gonna see a huge difference in the playability of this, and especially the fact that that's why I scrolled on the utility, is that they increase the loot value in epic key rooms. It's huge because it felt like it was good to begin with, and then it kind of got like nerfed. And so I'm really glad that they moved forward with that. But yeah, this is a very, very, very good update. Keys will no longer be removed from the safe pocket when using Unload the Backpack. I love that. Fixed rubber ducks not being able to be placed into the trinket slot of an augment. Nice. Weapons. Okay. Lighter arc are now pushed back slightly when struck by melee attacks. Fix an issue where stowed weapons would not appear on the first spawn. Fix an exploit allowing players to reload energy weapons without consuming ammo. Aiming down sights now resumes if it was interrupted while the aim button is still held. Okay. Fix an exploit. That's good, though. The aiming down sight now resumes. That's so good. Fix an exploit that allowed shotguns to bypass the intended fire cooldown. Good. Fix the greasing her palms quest. That was huge. I know a lot of players struggle with that one. And then fix an issue where squads sharing incorrectly completed objectives that spawn quest items. That was kind of a weird one. Got some AMD issues where a driver warning would pop up at startup despite being on the latest version, and then it would cause a GPU crash. And if you had more items than fit in your stash, the value of the items that don't fit in the stash are not included in the final departure screen, which is included when calculating your rewards. So, what are our takeaways? Ladies and gentlemen, we are now entering the cold snap. And I hope you guys are ready because we will be live about 3 p.m. Central Time today. Got to get some work done, and then we will be live on Twitch. I cannot wait to see you guys there. I cannot wait to see what this new update has. I hope that you guys all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Comment down below what you're most looking forward to with this new cold snap. Let me know what you think about the Bettina getting a buff. Let me know what you think about Stella spawns getting fixed. This is huge. Be kind, stay friendly. Paradise loves you. Out.